Hello Darts Nuts, welcome to Darts Review channel. I've got another set from Shot Darts here, and this is from their Gnarly range, and these are the Smasha. Now on the box it says grip rating 7 out of 5, so I'm guessing they're going to be quite grippy. Let's check them out. So I'm reviewing the 24 gram version, the 90% tungsten. They're also in 23 and 25 gram in steel tip and 20 gram in soft tip, and the retail for £79.95. Alright, so as you can see, it comes in the new Shot packaging, and you got all the info about the barrel on there, and it does say on the box grip rating 7 out of 5. So we'll see if that holds true. Come on. I can't do it. There's a little notch there to grab hold of, but nah. I can't get it out. I don't know, when you put your fingers in, I think it tightens the box against the foam, and then if you got fattish fingers, then it's hard to pull out. But the darts are fit into a little point holder and come supplied with the which ones are them? Oh yeah, I thought so. They're the koi carbon stems, tweeny size, and you got the Gnarly SMASHA flights. So that's what you get. So the darts fit with a black chord point. It's a front weighted style, but not massively front weighted. It's quite subtle actually, and it's a rather nice shape. Again, got a slightly curved taper to the front, and then kind of parallel, and then a more subtle taper on the rear section. Now amazingly, it's actually got a dreaded smooth section right at the end of the barrel. So what's that doing there? I think Shot must have made a mistake there. But now then, the grip. Do I think it's a 7 out of 5 if I was rating it out of 5, but I always do out of 10. Well, I guess you'll have to wait until I get to the grip section, but I actually don't think it's quite as aggressive as it looks, but there's definitely sections of bite on there. So, and if you run your fingers over that way from front to back, you feel a little bit of stickiness, but as you go forward, I can feel bite there and a little bit more bite there, and as it gets to around on this bit here, I can feel it bite again, but I don't think it's so grippy that it's going to stick and be troublesome to release. So it may be too grippy for some, but I actually like the feel of it, so hopefully it's going to be a nice one for me. But it's got the black tie coating on, and you've certainly got a mix of grippy style, so we'll have a better look at that in the super close look. And there's the koi carbon stems. I think that's the tweeny size, and the SMASHA flight standard, small standard shape. So that's the full setup. Let's have a closer look at that grip. So there's a slight taper on the nose with these kind of like wide, almost like a shark ring grip, but I think it's more the inverted style because of the way the angles of the grooves are cut into it. So not quite as aggressive as it looks really, because it depends on how your fingers sit on it, but because it's got these lateral cuts running through quite wide and deep, you do get like little edges of the corners of where the cuts are, so I think that gives you the grip. But this section here, that's probably the more grippy part, because the angles are a little bit more pronounced, because it's got the double rings in between, which are kind of a little bit narrower in terms of the diameter. But there you go, you can see it a little bit better from there. And once again, it's got the lateral cuts running through it, so you got like these wide V-shaped cuts, so it gives you more corners for your fingers to get traction on. And then as you get onto the rear, again a kind of similar style of grip with a ring groove, almost inverted shark style, but with the lateral cuts just providing more grippiness. And then at the very end of the barrel, got a smooth section, so after all that grip you get a dreaded smooth section just there. So that's the super close look at the Shot Gnarly Smasha darts. Darts fit with a black coated 29mm point. You've got the tapered nose, which is made of those kind of like wide shark rings with quite deep wide V-shaped lateral cuts. That's 9.7mm, and then you've got similar kind of rings again but interspersed with some narrow thin double rings, 12.5mm, and then the rear section is like another thin version of a shark ring grip with lateral cuts, 20.8mm, and then you got a smooth section on the end, 4mm. Length is 47mm, wide is 7.6mm. 24.09 grams, 24.08 grams, and 24.07 grams. Full setup, 25.91 grams. So here's the balance with nothing attached, and this is the balance with the supplied setup. So obviously everyone's different, so some may feel more grippy than others, but for me I'd say it's 8.5. Let's give them a throw and see how they go. Well, it's definitely not that aggressive, and it's actually releasing out of my fingers nice and easy. Maybe still too grippy for some, but I think I've definitely felt grippier barrels. Oh, treble one champion. Got quite a nice balance for a front grip like. What I do like is the way that kind of rings are angled, and then it kind of creates like a little ledge for the grip just to kind of get some traction on it. Oh, didn't have enough power on that last one. But that's because I'm getting some like little ledge around there to push against, and it's just got quite a nice feel to that. But I don't think that is as aggressive as it made out on the packaging, what have you. But like I say, it still might be too grippy for some. I'll try the mid section, but really nice balance there with the front grip. So the midsection, kind of like where that, well, I don't even know what you call it, almost like a triple ring starts. Now I seem to be throwing it to the left, which is a bit strange. Let's have another try from there. A little bit better, but it's still kind of drifting left. The second one went the best so far. One last try from that spot. I'm not sure if that's quite a good spot to be throwing it from, but anyway, it's because it's kind of like on the two halves of each grip, I think. Some were going okay and some seem to be like almost twisting in the air, but I'll try it fully on the rear section now. Hopefully that'll be a little bit more balanced. Going a little bit better, but I think it's just down to getting used to it more than anything. Too many beans. Oh. No, not quite getting the hang of it with the rear grip. Have another try. Well, that's one the best so far. Yeah, I'll have one more try. Almost feels like I'm getting it. went okay, but not on the target. So I definitely think it works best for me from the front grip. But for some rear grippers who like that style of barrel, it's probably going to be okay. I'm not really sure about throwing it from the mid part. It didn't feel quite right at all there, but it does sit in your fingers nice on the rear grip. And like I say, I don't think it's that grippy that you can't release it. It was releasing from my fingers nice and easy. So, and like I said, that little section there where the taper comes up and then it kind of indents a little bit, just gives you a nice little ledge there to kind of push against. So that felt rather good, but balance feels really nice with my front grip. So it may be one that front grippers get the best out of, but I have a feeling some rear grippers will probably be happy with it as well. It's just got that shape that some rear grippers like, if you like that front weighted style. So there you go, that's the end of the video. I'll see you on the next one. Happy darting.